Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tardis Zone Talks. How is everybody doing? I thought there for a second ago there was a lot more. Oh, there they are. They've all popped in the comments. Something's going weird with my computer. Well, how's everybody? I hope you are all well. So we haven't done this in a while, have we? And not much has really happened. Time fracture has obviously opened up. And so that's early days. I've been looking at the articles there. Nothing that really jumps out except newspapers speculating on what monsters or villains are going to be appearing in Series 13. Also, there was talks of some rumors floating about which I never seen. So they mustn't have been that important. If anybody knows what they were, could you just let us know? Because obviously I've been busy. But nothing from me sources, so it mustn't be anything. It must be something that was already covered. I did hear someone mention the Autons. Well, I did mention the Autons on this channel. I actually produced a photograph of a bus, and I had Autons on the bus, but it was like a glasses company. But when I went and Googled, apparently there was no, I couldn't find a company named Autons Glassware or whatever it was, or eyewear or whatever it was, like a Specsavers, couldn't find it. So I reported on that already, if that's what's floating about. Look, as I said, I wouldn't be surprised with Chris Chibnall, what he brings back the Series 13. I don't think really anybody gives a crap. That's the thing. So that's where I stand, and I don't really care what appears in Series 13. We all know that the writing is not going to be up to scratch. But there's been nothing really going on. So what I'll do is I'll put the link in the chat right now, and if you want to come on, we'll see how many appears. I'm only going to be streaming for an hour. So if you're coming on, please come on now. This will be your chance to come on right now. As I said, I'm only streaming for an hour. What you call it? We've got a football match in the background as well, so we have to be careful because they play music, someone scores, and you know yourself, a bleeding. The last time that happened, I got a copyright claim, believe it or not, because the bleeding sound was too loud. It's ridiculous. YouTube's gone ridiculous. So if you want to come on, the link is in the chat. We're 4 minutes in, so that means there's 55 minutes left. So if you want to come on, please do. Time is short tonight. So please do, come on. Chibnall's already burnt most of Doctor Who fandom. Yeah, nobody gives a crap anymore, Nicholas. That's the problem for BBC right now. They don't give a crap anymore. I seen something funny there. I was saying something funny earlier on. The other side are complaining because we're not complaining as much. It's absolutely ridiculous. We can't win. When we decide to do something else, we just literally can't win. And you can see that they're desperately craving attention, which we don't give them anymore. So as I said, if you're coming on tonight, the link is in the chat. We've got 55 minutes left exactly. So if you're coming on, now is the time to do come on. Also, some people are saying It's nice to see Ted doing well. Yeah, as you can see, he's walking and he's running is not like it used to be. But the fact that he's even gotten to that stage, apparently, according to the vets, is another miracle. So we're just glad to still have him here. Is there any point of complaining anymore? No, that's what I mean. I was saying it. I was saying it the other day as well. There is no point. I mean, I will wait and see when Series 13 comes out, and then we can complain all we bleeding want. Then up until then, there's nothing to really complain about, is there? And I mean, we can debate all the source and information and rumors that are out there, but I mean, at the end of the day, we still don't really give a crap, do we? It's gone that bad. I will be in the chat tonight. Well, listen, Charlotte is the only one that's in the studio, so if it ends up being Charlotte, that's it. It's going to be the shortest show we've ever done. So I'll say it again. The link is in the chat. If you want to come on, now is the opportunity to come on. Or it's only going to be myself and Charlotte, which I don't mind because I had Charlotte on the last time on our own. The Legend of the Traveling Tardis with a $5 super chat says, Noel, can you give our YouTube some love? Thanks. The Legend of the Traveling Tardis. I will throw that super chat up there. Guys, if one of me moderators actually could throw up the Legend of the Traveling Tardis channel, that would be absolutely fantastic. Give us 2 for F's sake. No, if I tell you to come on now, you come on now. It's as simple as that. End of. Right? No drama queen and going on this channel. Right? It's nice to see you, Lee. So, right, listen, this is the way it is. As nobody else seems to be coming on, and I think it is only going to be Charlotte and Lee, I'm just going to bring those two on tonight. If anybody else pops in, it's too late. I've already given you a few minutes already to come in. So it's just Charlotte and Lee. So if anybody else comes in, sorry, too late. Right, let's bring them on. Which one will I put? Which one's the bigger queen? I'm going to bring on royalty first. It's the one and only Queen Charlotte.
Oh, it's a good thing Ollie doesn't get offended easily, isn't it?
Lee never gets offended. Lee knows I'm taking the piss.
That's what I mean. It's a good thing.
Exactly. Well, let's bring on the drama queen, the other queen, the one and only. Problem being?
I am so offended.
Oh, I knew you were going to say that.
Right now, offended.
Offended. Actually, I did see something that did offend me last night. And I don't normally listen. I think everybody knows me stance on abortion because I've spoke about.
Yeah, I just watched Az's video.
I watched the Az video with Cheryl as well, and 100%. Listen, he even said in the video he didn't think that he should be doing this. So I think you should. I think it was a great video. Again, this is why I follow Az. When it comes to stuff like this, man, he is always spot on. Where is the empathy? Where is? I mean, that video was disgusting.
All I can say is,
he's not aware of what I'm talking about. Some white lady on TikTok. She looked distraught in the video. She puts up this pregnancy test to indicate that she's pregnant, and then basically her whole demeanor changes, and she starts laughing. She pours a big glass of wine, and then she basically mocking the fact that she was going to get an abortion when there's women out there that struggle.
That was my comment that I left on Az's video. Was my only hope really is that there wasn't a young woman out there who had a miscarriage that day or had a traumatic
and saw
abortion and saw it. Yeah, exactly. That how gutting.
Seriously,
something
man,
like that would be.
I don't really say out about stuff like this on the channel either, unless we're getting really serious. But that really sickened me. That video is a reflection, I think, on where we're going in society, and it's not a nice place. It's a cold place. It's a dark place. There's no empathy. There's no pity. There's no understanding. There's nothing. It's just we're heading towards oblivion, folks. If we
It's social
continue
manipulation.
this way.
If you look at TikTok very closely, I mean, you can research this yourself. The company that made TikTok is a Chinese company.
It was an AI, wasn't it? It was artificial. It was created by
It was
AI.
created by a CCP, which is the Communist Chinese Party. That's politically all corporations are owned pretty much by the state, right? So the company that built this also does a lot of work on behalf of the Chinese Communist Party, and they developed an AI, and that AI was left to develop by itself an app, a social media app, which turned out to be TikTok, which is unleashed onto the Western world. And it's very interesting, isn't it? Because you look at the way it's used and how this sort of narcissism has been allowed to fester through that atrocious social engineering app. But you look at the way that the Chinese are using their propaganda in China to instill masculinity in their male boys, in the boys in China, that they are being hyper masculinized or masculated. I don't know. And it's such a contrast, isn't it? So you think about how they've got their fingertips basically in the brains of the youth in the West with this TikTok. But in Chinese culture, they're doing the exact opposite to what they are encouraging within the West, which is this sort of, purple hair, green hair, pierced nose, social justice insanity with these wide-eyed, bug-eyed people who are just going on, listen to me, I've got no life experiences, as rightly pointed out.
Yeah.
And in China, they're doing the exact opposite. So, I mean, come 10, 15, 20 years, 30 years max, don't be surprised if China comes knocking at the shore, because they'll be like, well, we're fully trained. We've got a bunch of hyper-masculinized men ready to pick up arms and invade anyone that they choose, and everyone's just going to roll over and go, oh, thank you, yes. Oh.
Right, just to let you know, we got Jack joining us as well. He wants to know what the topic is. We're just basically talking whatever pops into our head, because there's nothing Doctor Who was of value to actually talk about. So I just seen a video last night that disgusted me. So I just wanted to briefly bring that up. But Charlotte, we'll ask you, actually, is there anything you would like to bring up so we can change topic of conversation, or would you like to give your view on have you seen that particular video that we're all talking about?
Well, I watched a bit of the beginning of his, and then I had to have my tea. But I'm not surprised, and I think the problem is we are having our entertainment, the idea of empathy and the idea of characters that can think beyond themselves, that can reach out to people, that can sacrifice anything of their own to help others. Those sort of qualities, they're just disappearing in our media. So because
propaganda.
People aren't sort of seeing it in media, whether that's film, television, stuff, books. Like, obviously I know more to do with the TV and film, but I notice it. There's so much darkness, and that's in the realms of, if I see one more show where I feel like everything's what's the term, like postmodern, and everything's like you can't have hope, and it's just everything's dour, and it's just, I think that's now seeping into people's heads.
Yeah, I think with lockdown it doesn't help as well, because it just magnifies it, doesn't it?
Oh God, yeah, you've got mental health, and then, like I said, people just want escapism, and that's what we've all been shouting about for God knows how many years. But I think now we're seeing the results of not having it, because I can't remember the last time I saw a selfless act on anything. And it's like one of my favorite games. Because I usually don't like that sort of stuff, but one of my favorite games is The Last of Us, and I'll always use it as an example. Is that's a really dour game. It's like post-apocalyptic. It's zombies. Like the main character isn't your traditional good character, but there's a brilliant moment in it, and I think this moment resonates a lot with people who know the game, and it's the main characters of Joel and Ellie, and they've got like a father-daughter bond, which is also a rarity you see nowadays. So it's really lovely for that, and you sort of see this bond grow between them, and that they're going basically to a point. It's a very simple story, to be honest. It's just you need to get to a point. By the end of it, that's when you're going to get what you need to save the world, sort of thing. And they're going past like this. It's like a university campus, but it's all in ruin. Like nature's taken over, and they just see these wild giraffes, and they must have like escaped or been part of a zoo at one point, but because nature's taken over, they've just roaming free. And there's just this beautiful moment where Joel, the father character, sort of goes, "Daddy, come here," and the giraffe comes and they stroke this giraffe, and it's the most weirdly moment to describe, but in such a dour game, it's such a beautiful moment because it's pure. There's no violence, there's no death, there's nothing down.
And of course, in the sequel, they bludgeon him to death within the first half an hour. And
don't get me started. I was looking forward to the sequel, and then I heard all the stuff coming out about it, and then I obviously heard about that scene being leaked, and that's just another example. I was like,
yeah, you can't have that. You can't have any more pleasure or joy. No, it's got to be subverted now for political points.
So what, Joel, who, like I said, he's not a traditional good guy. That's what I liked about Joel in the first game. He actually was a villain almost, you could argue, quite easily. But he still had his principles. He still at the end did the right thing. And he loved Ellie as a daughter. That was clearly the message of that first game, of sort of human interaction and human relationships winning out. And then they did that to him. And I heard that, and I literally had a foot, like my brother, who's also was a fan of the first game, I just ranted at him. Because I was just like, they've done that, and he goes, yeah, they have, and it's so typical now of everything. Like I said, everything has to be shock or dour or like, we can't have positive or hope or anything.
Yes, I was on a stream earlier with Purple Valkyrie, and we were discussing the current nonsense with the Sandman casting, and it does seem to be a case of this societal norm, this new normal that we're living through, which seems to be an act of aggression or passive aggression, where it's a war of attrition, really, between these sort of the new elite supremacists who want to wield control and power over other people, and the main weapon that they seem to use in media and social media is demoralizing people. It seems to me, when people talk about white comfort,
actually,
that's what they're doing. They don't want anyone to be comfortable. They want everyone to be on edge 24/7, which makes people easier to control.
Actually, Neil Gaiman's response was very interesting.
Telling.
And telling that, he is. Look, they always seem to go that. Look, we already know this. They pander to a certain demographic, and it's going to continue. Unfortunately, it's going to continue. I at this stage, when obviously we our thing is Doctor Who on this channel, but for me now, I think the best thing to do is actually end Doctor Who. Just put it on hiatus till all this crap blows over, because every single showrunner or any writer you're going to get in is going to just pander to a certain demographic in the fandom and in these fandoms, and it's not right. It's not. And I mean, they look at all these shows and they're all failures, but yet you see all these fans and you look at them and the way they talk, you think these were the most successful franchises. I mean, every single franchise out there right now is suffering. If they Star Trek, Star Wars, Doctor Who, and then their TV, right? Their TV shows. Then you got the movie ones, right? So, Indiana Jones is probably going to be hit now. We had that with Ghostbusters to the 2016 Abomination. I mean, they've had flop after flop. Terminator: Dark Fate was another one. Like
Predator.
they start injecting all of these politics into it, all of this gender equality, and all of this instead of creating new characters anyway for start. See, this is another thing that pisses me off, right? The Hollywood and everybody that's involved in TV just wants to race swap or gender swap roles instead of actually creating new characters for everybody. It's a lazy way of doing it. It's not creative whatsoever, right? You're usurping an already established character and you're putting in a person of token. It doesn't matter whether it's a gender swap or a race swap. It's a token gesture. You're not actually going out there and creating new content for the people that believe that there's not enough content being made for them. Well, then go out and create it. I'm sick of this crap all the time. Go ahead, Charlotte. I don't want to, because if you have a good train of thought there, go ahead.
Yeah, or just if you can't create a new one, look for original characters that already exist. Because there is already existing female characters, characters from different minorities. You can even look to other countries' mythos. Because think about it, like the Western mythos is going to be based on Christian or white or these sort of things because of the demographic. So if you want to look to the east, like that some of the creation myths and some of their gods are the most creative things. It's crazy their religions.
What's it called? The Bhagavad Gita? The Indian creation myths. I've probably butchered that because I'm going off memory.
But just look at their cult. Like, if you want to have characters that don't suit, like I said, the white Christian, whatever traditional demographic, look to the East. And instead of trying to tell them how to do their art, actually look at their creation stuff.
Mahabharata. That's
the one.
Yeah, that is a great story that should be brought to a wider audience. Hello, PD Rich.
How you doing?
I'm
all right.
Sorry, it's got very interesting, so I thought I'd pop in. Thanks for having me, Noel.
Yeah, no bother, man. This is an interesting conversation tonight.
Yeah.
I have to say. I did actually see something else that's kind of a little segue into what we're talking about. Did you see that post on Twitter of someone complaining about a bloke? He did a Wonder Woman. Was it a Wonder Woman picture or something with torn clothes or something? And they went on a rant saying that men shouldn't draw women in torn. Now, again, I'm going to say something on that, right? But whether the artist is male or female, right? An artist is free to express themselves whatever they want to. You cannot control or put restrictions on art. So listen, I have no problem out there if women want to draw men the way they want to draw men. I have no problem if men want to draw women the way they want to draw women. And as I said, vice versa. You cannot start controlling how people create. And this
you know that they did there's this trend of to go, I fixed it, right? Fix the art. My post was here, I fixed it, and I posted a picture of a woman head to toe in a burqa, but it was all stars. It was all stars and stripes, red, white, and blue. So I said, there you go. That's how you want Wonder Woman to look. I mean, it's this urge to desexualize people and mythical heroes and heroines. It's like, Well, they are powerful. They have a sexuality to it, and
They're
that's
insecure about their own.
normal.
That's why.
Yeah,
They're insecure
and
about
they
their
want
own.
to
That's why.
control that. It's a Babette says it calls them what they really are. You know, these hyper liberal people. Well, they think they're liberal. They're the least liberal people. He calls them conservatives in drag.
Yeah.
And I think that's so spot on. They are the most puritanical conservative bunch since bloody neo-conservatives of the 1990s.
Yeah, but these are the same women that will drool over masculine, like with the pecs and the shirt off and all this. They'll be the first to.
Cheryl makes that point as well. There's a lot of that going on, male oogling going on and stuff. And you don't hear us complaining about it.
You know that picture with the picture of Spider-Man's girlfriend, J.K. whatever. I can't remember. I'm not a big Spider-Man comic fan.
Which Spider-Man?
Well, you know the cover which they had
Mary Jane
sitting on the
that one,
sitting on the couch in that awkward pose, and then someone goes, "Oh, that's not realistic," and I fixed it, and it started that whole thing again, and it's been waging forever. No one talks about Spider-Man's arse, right?
No,
you see Spider-Man swinging off into the distance, and you can see his bum cheeks, and no one fucking raises an eyelid.
But there's nothing wrong with that, you see, because they're hypocrites. Listen. The reason why they want to desexualize all of these characters is because they're insecure about their own sexuality. It's all insecure. It's all insecurities. Everything that they do is because they're insecure about stuff. So they try to change everything. So because they're so they want to make. I keep saying this. They just want us to be as miserable as them and as insecure as them. I'm sorry, that's not going to happen.
No.
You need to sort yourselves out. It's as simple as that. Life is tough, right? It's not easy, right? You're gonna get knocked down. You brush yourself down and you pick yourself up and you go again, right? You don't depend on other people to make life easier for you. That's not how it works. We've all had to work hard to get where we've gotten. Right? So stop with this fucking weak mentality, because that's all it is to me. You just have this weak mentality. They're insecure, and it needs to stop. It really does. You're going to ruin society if you just keep it up. Right?
No, that's what they want.
Talk to someone. Get the help that you need. If you need to talk to someone who's finding life a little bit of a struggle like we all do, go and talk to someone. Right? But don't be making the rest of us all miserable. Right? I'm sick of this crap. I really am. And all of this, it's always complaining. And I see it, right? I'm sick of it. Every day there's someone, it doesn't matter what side of the argument you're on now. There's every day just someone moaning about something. There's not one day that goes by where someone is not moaning about something.
Complaining about the
It's like fucking stop. Like they're complaining about stuff that hasn't even come out yet, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, will you wait until it comes out first? Have we got to that stage now where we're just gonna complain? Like,
I think honestly, no, and I
am complaining now, so I'm being a fucking hypocrite. So I'm gonna fucking shut up.
Yeah, our ilk does have a habit of falling into that. We get too into it, and we just start complaining about the silliest little things.
Exactly. We just need to take a little bit of a chill pill and wait until stuff comes out, and we should be complaining about the stuff that's already happened and stuff.
Well, I think it stems from the fact that people have been more than burnt more than once.
That's why we're doing it now.
So now we can almost it's like almost like a magic power or superpower.
No, I get it.
You can see it coming around the corner because it's so blatant. We've been so conditioned now to kind of witness these things. And whereas before we were like, "Oh, let's wait and see," and every single time we waited and see,
it's always been a mess.
It turned into a fucking nightmare. So, I kind of do understand now that the general knee-jerk reaction is usually the right one. But
at the same time,
that's the way it seems to work.
Just wait until the fucking thing comes out and then complain all you bleeding want. Do your 20-odd fucking videos or whatever. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you're doing your videos all the way up until it, and then when you tell, and what happens if all of these things turn out to be great? This is what then they're gonna.
Yeah, I can kind of see where you're coming from, Noel.
You
Yeah,
know,
but it never is.
Some parts of
I do
fandom
get
are
it.
becoming just as
Lee,
bad as
I
the
agree.
opposition.
Lee, I agree with you 100%, mate. I agree that there is that reaction now because fans have been burnt. I get it, I really do, but we have to be better than that. We've always said it. We
Exactly.
have to be better than that. We have to look. We got a couple of wins. We got the Schneider Cup, but now people are not happy with that anymore. Now they're still bitching and moaning. You know, Warner Brothers are thick. We know that. They're not giving us the Schneiderverse, whether we want it or not. They're not. But there's no point to keep fucking complaining about every day. It's done. Let them fucking go down the pan, right? Then someone else will come along, right? And then one day the Schneiderverse might be revived. But if it's at the book, I'll tell you one thing though. If it's at to go, if anybody hasn't seen Army of the Dead, right, I'd have second thoughts about a Schneiderverse if I were yours.
Yeah, that was absolutely shite.
Because I have to be
I
honest.
loved it, but everyone else
I have
complained
to be
about it.
honest.
Fucking hated it. I couldn't finish it. I could
I have to
not
be
finish it.
honest.
It was Aliens. It was just a remake of
It
Aliens.
was just pretty weak. It was just pretty weak. Again, Zack Snyder's faults are coming to the fore again, as I've always said. Get him with Christopher Nolan, and the both of them can create something magnificent. Now, I will say the Snyder Cut, for me, is the best comic book movie ever made, in my opinion. But he has shown his flaws again, and I would have a hesitancy when it comes to the Snyderverse. So, listen, this is why I say fans should take a bit of a chill pill. Wait until we see his next couple of movies that come out, right? This guy could end up being the fraud that a lot of people think he is out there. And I think he is. I think he works best with Christopher Nolan because Christopher Nolan has a way of doing things, and I think those two do bounce off each other very well. Man of Steel.
Do you think that maybe we've got a problem just in general in media that instead of having more teams, like everybody seems to want to look towards one person, like the creator, the director,
Well, I don't see what's wrong with that. I mean, that's how it always used
worked,
to be.
Charlotte, that's worked for decades. Like that formula has worked. Like, I mean,
it just needs vision. I mean, I don't understand where the
creativity isn't enough. There's no will for creativity anymore. Like, look at Hollywood right now. It seems to be
it's so
the era of remakes now. We're back to the era of remakes now, right? So they've no creativity spark whatsoever. The people that are coming through as writers and directors and producers, as Lee said, have absolutely no vision whatsoever. They've been brought up with all of this crap. And to be honest with you, it's boring and dull. Look at the entertainment that's supposed to be entertainment out there that ends up being boring and dull. Me and Lee actually set through Picard, so we can talk about that, right? We actually set through that rubbish. We got through 3 or 4 episodes of Lower Decks. Again, absolute bore rubbish, right? We've watched Doctor Who, of course. Absolute bore and rubbish. Look at BBC.
It's demoralising.
Comedy anymore. Lee said it a few months ago. BBC are afraid to do comedy anymore.
40% less comedy from the BBC.
Because why? 40%. Because the jokes that comedians normally tell are now classed as offensive. So comedians now are being stifled because their creativity now has been stifled. You see, this is the thing. This is what they want to do. I wish there was a comedian out there there is. Ricky Gervais is one. He doesn't give a shit, and there's a couple of more. We need more like them that don't give a shit to come out and say it as it is. That's what comedians are there for. They're supposed to tell the jokes that we wouldn't normally, or say the things that we wouldn't normally say out loud, but we're all thinking anyway. That's the point of it. Jesus, we've lost all.
The problem is when it all gets knocked down, what are they going to replace it with? They'll probably replace it with nothing.
That's exactly what they're doing. They are replacing it. 40% less comedy.
Yeah, but what was that show that they had on BBC Two? The left-wing comedy show that's being axed now.
The MASH Report.
The MASH Report, right? Didn't even last because I watched it. I actually gave it a go because I wanted to see what kind of comedy, because BBC, Lee will agree with me here, BBC and ITV in their heyday, when it came to fucking comedy, were kings of comedy. Holy shit, man, the programs that were coming out of those two stations was unbelievable. But I sat down and I watched this. It was the most unfunniest, blandest thing. And I'm not just saying this, even the fucking presenter was cringy. It was just the worst thing. This was not funny. It was like, right, we're the left, we're going to take the piss out of the right all the time, but we're going to do it badly. It was done badly, and everybody was surprised when that show was axed on the left. Well, of course it was axed. It was a burden pile of crap. They don't take risks. The comedy is comedy. There's no risk with Anton. This is the problem. Comedians are afraid to take risks. Writers are afraid to take risks out there as well with their TV shows, because just in case they offend someone. And I'm sick of those people that are offended. If you're so fucking offended, why not can we find a continent for them, move them all fucking there, and then live the way you fucking want it and leave the rest of us alone?
Tell them Wakanda's real.
And the problem is, you've got people who genuinely, you can tell in the entertainment industry, who do have these beliefs and are basically activists.
Yeah.
But you have the panderers, as I refer to them.
That's it. The panderers jumping on the bandwagon.
That you can tell they don't actually believe it. It's like that whole stupid thing with the pronouns on the Sandman. I saw that because I saw people taking the mick, and I just was thinking that was done for Twitter. Nobody else is going to see that except for Twitter. And lo and behold, you saw. I looked at some of the replies because I thought, let's hate myself for 5 minutes. And I looked at some of the replies, and they were all like, "Oh, well, awesome, so good, you put pronouns." And I was like,
"Yeah, well done, applauding."
So surprised that Stephen Fry didn't have a go at them over
That's
that.
what I said.
Yeah, exactly. Brownie points. It's not even It's not even done for a legitimate cause anymore. Yeah, and this is what annoys me as well.
It's
People
social engineering.
Pandering to a minority.
I call this shit out because it's disrespectful to the people that they claim to represent. That's why. It's the most disrespectful way of doing things, right? You don't even put any thought or effort into it anymore. It's like, all right, let's gender swap this character, and on top of it, let's give her pronouns.
Yeah. Do you think in about 5 years' time, when the blowback comes about all this, you're going to have when you go to work, you have to be in an apolitical environment now?
Hopefully, I really do, because look, the problem is, right? It's stifled. It's funny how they always talk about this creates conversation. No, it doesn't. It creates diktats,
conflict,
right? Yeah. It creates conflict because it's diktats. It's adversarial. It's unidirectional, and it's oppressive, and it's all this gaslighting and projection and all these straw man arguments that they use to battle everyone, because it's not a conversation. Conversation requires two people talking from two different sides. So this is a diktat, and all of these
diktat, not a debate.
Yeah, all of the because the debate is over, right? This is the hashtag that the debate is over. It's not conducive to a cohesive society. It has pretensions of being revolutionary when all it is really a coup in terms of fascism, gender fascism, race fascism, and it's homogenizing society and to manipulate it into this perverse kind of parody of itself.
Yeah,
and it's not making anyone. It serves nobody.
Exactly,
all it serves is potentially China. It serves the elites. It serves all the corporations who monetize it, and all these pronouns things.
And anyone jumping on the bandwagon as well.
It's purely corporate. I mean, I went on Twitter on my iPad, which doesn't have ad blocker on it, so I was absolutely bombarded with pride adverts. I call it arrogance now. It's corporate, and it's been corporate for a long time. It's rammed down your throat, and the whole pronoun thing, and especially the non-binary thing, which is now driving a massive schism within the LGBT so-called community, because the L and G and the B are saying, wait a minute, this gender fascism is trying to erase and eradicate sexual not preference. So I can't even use that word anymore. But sexual attraction.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Because now they're saying that if you don't go by someone's gender rather than sex, so I'm a homosexual, not a homogenderal, right? So if I don't want to sleep with a man with a vagina, there's something wrong with me. And I'm sorry, we have fought for thousands of years, not me personally, but we have fought thousands of years for just to have the same rights as anyone else. That's it. We got those. So when we got those, obviously all these think tanks and charities like Stonewall and THT and the Tavistock Institute decided, well, we're out of business unless we create some more oppression somehow. So then the whole T thing, really, the whole gender thing, the non-binary thing, all these pronouns and all this became the singular issue, pushing everyone else, including gays and lesbians, bisexual people, to the side, thrown to the wind, to make way for the new elite, which puts us at the bottom of that particular pyramid. So we're fighting back, going, well, hold on a fucking minute here.
There's a point.
We got what we needed. Thank you very much. We don't need you anymore. So, and now we're seeing how, the talk of pride and how kink should be allowed in pride and kids should be exposed to kink at pride and all this. This is absolutely antithetical to absolutely everything that I was led to believe that, pride was supposed to be about, right? That's why now I'll call it arrogance. Thanks to a comedian called Will Franken. Check him out. Did a fucking brilliant thing on Greta Thunberg. Watch it. It's fantastic. It's about 20 minutes long. It's the funniest thing ever. And it for me, it just means that the fight is ahead for everybody to reject this. It's within. I just want to make it absolutely clear that to people outside of the whole LGBT freakdom, that fucking flag does not represent me. It doesn't represent an awful lot of us.
Represent me.
Growing number of us who absolutely fundamentally reject all that is going on with this gender
I'm actually embarrassed by that flag. I find it embarrassing.
I refuse to put it on I will put any fucking flag on my thing. I put the Palestinian flag on my fucking profile before I put that pride flag.
Well,
that's how much I feel about it.
It's also I'll come at it from a female perspective when it comes to feminism, and that is why I will never be called I will never have anybody call me a feminist, and I would never identify as one because of what that has become. Because you got something that started off as just a very fringe part of that movement that was anti-male, that basically took any opportunity to vilify males, to make out that they are the source of every problem in the universe. And then that sort of smaller part of it, or the more extreme end of it, started taking over the other bits of it. So now,
if you did identify as a feminist now, Charlotte, you would not be allowed to be a feminist because you won't want to have sexual relations with a woman with a penis.
Well, I can't really talk on that stuff, so I'm not going to.
I'm just saying you wouldn't be allowed to be a feminist.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
That's the problem, though. This whole movement, whichever part of it you would identify with, and that's just across the board. I'm saying now, this isn't just to one group. Is sort of what my point is. They've all got this thing of in order to be part of the club, you have to follow every part of our rules. So if you've got a different opinion on anything. So like I said, with the feminist movement, if you happen to say, well, I want equality, but I don't hate men. It's like, oh, you can't be part of our club. It's like, that's why, for example, if I've said this on other streams, I tend to connect with more male characters in media than females. And I found that especially being the case in the last 5 to 6 or 7 years. Because if you look at how female characters are written across the board, they are the most blandest, they are the most perfect, they are given everything on a plate. And that is why I struggle to connect.
I've watched Alien recently, like the original one, and I have to say that Ripley, to me, it would be great if they would write all female characters the same as her.
Yeah.
Because she's a great female character, not because she's a feminist or not even because she's a female. The only reason she makes it out alive is because she runs. She
Yeah.
can't take that alien on by herself. She can't girl power it. You know, it's
She's a
terrifying
great character.
Yeah,
Not,
because
let alone a
she-
great
and-
female character. She's just
Yeah.
a great character.
Well
And
written.
lots of people say, "Oh, but she's, really Mary Sue in Aliens because she straps
Oh,
the
she's not.
flamethrower, and goes after the Queen." Her mother instincts take over. That's
That's
her
it.
femininity. Her care
That's
for
it,
that
she's
child
going after to
drives her.
rescue Newt. That's what it
That's
was.
what the
Yeah.
secret. That's what the hidden story is in Aliens.
And
Jack. You can
it's-
see it more in the special edition.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
do.
definitely.
Because in the special edition, you find out that obviously her daughter had died. She gets a picture of her daughter as an old lady, and she died. And then
Yeah,
that's what the story is. The story
What I
is
don't
about
understand.
mother and
What I
child
don't
in the second one.
understand. Sorry, Noel. Have you played Alien Isolation?
Oh
No,
yeah, it's a bloody
right.
brilliant game.
Oh,
That
Yeah,
is.
yeah, but hold on. That's Ripley's daughter, right?
Yeah.
That you play
Supposed
it.
to
That
be.
you play as.
Supposed
But
to
I
be, yeah.
thought, I thought she died of old age on Earth.
She did.
But
She did.
at the end of Alien Isolation, she was kind of just, spoiler alert, she was kind of just floating in space.
There's a mobile app game which continues the story.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well, I can't be
Sega didn't want to
bothered,
make
so-
it. Yeah, I know. Just go on to Xenopedia and look it up. You'll find all about it. That's a great website, by the way, if you want to knowledge on aliens.
It's
I've used
annoying
it
when
so
they
much
do
time.
that.
But the second
I know.
movie, spot on. The second movie was about motherhood because you had
Yeah.
the Queen, you had the Queen laying the eggs and her babies, and you had Ripley then connecting with this girl Newt, whose parents had died and family had been taken away, and with the loss of her child and finding out that her child, there was a bond there, so she was very protective. See, this is what these people don't get. They want to destroy everything that makes a mother as well. Like motherhood, they want to attack motherhood as well.
But
Which
the thing is,
absolutely
look at
disgusting. It's one of the most sacred things in the
Look
world.
at what they call women,
Yeah.
womb carriers or childbirth.
Token ovary carriers, as
Yeah, this,
Courtney keeps calling Charlotte.
I'm
in
used to
their rush to
token
be
female PJ.
inclusive, in the rush to be inclusive, they are, demonstrably excluding women completely from this entire picture, and that is diabolical. Quite honestly, it is diabolical. It's the definition diabolical.
We got a super chat from Kip Ellis. It's a super sticker.
Thanks, Kip.
It's a what?
It's a unicorn.
It's another. Yay! We love the unicorn.
Unicorn.
Thank you. Thank you.
Put on your Cockney block.
But
I'm a
seriously-
gloom block voice. No, not here.
But seriously, it's just getting ridiculous now. I mean, if this continues in 5 years' time, right? As I said to the wife, you won't be able. You'll be afraid to open your mouth because you'll get to a point where you'll go out, you'll say something that wouldn't be considered to be really serious, but it will be now. Like for example, you accidentally misgendered someone because
Done that a
let's
few
be honest,
times.
every day there's different fucking genders coming out now, right? Now there's a lot of them right now. If you're to believe some people, there's over 72 genders, right? Okay, even if that was the case, but 72 genders people is very hard to keep track of. It's very hard to know.
Yeah.
So, like again, they're setting people up
Yeah, and then you get people on Twitter. Like I saw this and I couldn't fucking believe it. It was like someone of that community. I hate fucking using that word.
I know you do,
but they were saying it's worse when someone genders you correctly and you know that they don't mean it. So you can't win either bloody way. You know, and
but that's what we're heading for.
Gender fascism. It's so controlling of people's behavior.
The problem is, blowback-wise, we're going to hit a period where people go, "Oh well, I'm damned if I do, damned if I won't." So I'll just be damned then, shall I?
That's the problem. They want you to miss. That's what they want, though. They want you to misgender them so they can be outraged,
so they can willpower.
ruin your life, basically. because that's what some of these people want to do. Listen, as I said, live and let live. If you want to live your life the way you want to live your life, live it. But don't be intruding
Well,
and
you had
on
that
other
16
people's lives, because
you had
that's
that 60
what you're doing.
minutes. You had that 60 minutes thing that went that was broadcast in America, where it told you the story of young people who had transitioned and then detransitioned, and then there was all this outrage about it. And it's like, I've seen this so often with people who have gone through a detransition. I personally knew and was friends with someone who had got this, and they were in their 50s, and I saw what it did to them. And I can only imagine how much pain and suffering a young person will go through with something like that. And I haven't seen it with my own eyes, with someone in their 50s who went through this and had the regret and detransition. It took them 3 weeks to get the shots to transition them. It took them 3 years to get a single shot testosterone after they had the bottom surgery. 3 years, and in that time, their body was unable to produce any testosterone or any hormones at all to regulate their body, and their body was absolutely disintegrating. They had to walk with 2 walking sticks for years before they even got a doctor to give them a single shot of testosterone, and that's because they had their genitals removed, basically.
Yeah.
You know, this kind of thing. These stories need to be heard. It may be unpleasant to people who are trans. It may be off-putting to a lot of people who are thinking about. But people need to be. People need to know what they're in for. It's not all fucking roses and rainbows.
Not at all.
It
It's a
comes
hard
with
transition.
caveats.
But unfortunately, platforms like YouTube are not allowing people to talk about the other side of the argument. You've already seen how they're censoring.
That's why it's fascistic, because it's controlling people.
Yeah, but we said this was coming.
I thought they weren't supposed to be a publisher.
I mean, 5 years ago, people were saying this was coming, right? And people laughed. And now we're in the thick of it now, and it's gonna continue to get worse unless, look, the tide will turn eventually, because most of these companies anyway can't continue financially.
They're not making money.
They're not making money.
That's it.
So
it's kicking in now.
Eventually, it's going
to. But they're probably being funded on the quiet by billionaires, who are quite happy to fund this thing and manipulate society.
Well, if you're talking about
put my tinfoil hat on
of MGM and stuff by the founder of Amazon, I don't think we really have much to worry about him. I mean, the thing about it is people were complaining about the acquisition, but I actually think it's good, because the one thing that he did say was that Amazon likes to take risks. And I like that, because most of these franchises that they have now have been stagnant.
Yeah, but we've got Lord of the Rings down the pipeline, which is looking woke as tits.
Well, we don't know yet, though.
Yeah, we kind of do.
Yeah, but they've turned around.
Hold on. Has any of these people that are reporting on it actually seen a single scene of this show?
Yeah, but it's the rhetoric that's coming out.
It doesn't matter what the rhetoric is.
It does matter because no. It does matter because it's been proven time and time. Keep giving benefit of the doubt over and over and over again, and each and every single time we are met with complete and utter woke bollocks every damn time. You said the same thing about War of the Worlds, and I said that's going to be as woke as tits. You said no, wait till it comes out. It was woke as tits, right? So
yeah, but hold on. There's a thing in I know this for a fact. I know that there's something in the token estate that stops them from doing anything to these.
Yeah, but no. The
Amazon has put a decree on this, though.
The grandson died.
It's got to make money.
The grandson died, and the person who was left in charge to act as advisor either walked or was sacked, I think, twice. And I don't think he's on the project anymore. Yeah, I don't think he's on the project anymore. And they're talking about having sensitivity training and nudity training, and so I mean, I'm sorry, Lord of the Rings is not Game of Thrones. It's not about nudity. It's not about
Can't be.
intersectionality. It's not about
Oh,
race politics. It's about good versus evil
Yeah.
in a mythos that's supposed to be set in ancient Britain. That's what it's supposed to be, and it's not going to be that because of all the current woke shit. It will never be allowed to be that anymore.
I wonder how
nothing to
long
do
it
with
takes
politics
until Peter
anymore.
Jackson distances himself away from this
Well,
production.
it's being forced though. That's what I'm saying. Look, at
So this is not my Lord of the Rings.
No, Peter Jackson's got
until
nothing
you
to do
actually
with it.
see an episode, you can't judge anything. Yes,
I know.
I judged Lord of the Rings, and I judged it absolutely perfectly
No,
right,
we'll
and
see.
I will do it with this.
we'll see, because I
We'll
thought
hold
Lord
it
of the
to him
Rings is
if
a
it's
great
good.
trilogy.
Well, I think to be the middle ground, I think it's fair to be cautious
Yeah.
about certain things. If you see certain directors or people who are like head of studios say certain things, but don't damn it, would be my approach. Be cautious, but don't damn it.
Exactly. Just wait and see, man. I mean, it's the same with the Bond movie. People are giving out that you haven't seen
Okay,
it.
but mark my words, and
There probably will be a pile of shit, but I have to say the trailer looked fucking great, man. See, this is the thing, and I know what you're gonna say, but the trailer could be showing you the best things, the best part of the movie, and I might look.
How many times have we seen trailers and then
make
none
it
of the
look
stuff
good.
in the trailer
Yes,
ends
they
up
could
in
have
the...
edited it to make it look good, but at the same time, this movie actually might be good. It might surprise us. This is the thing, and for all those people that were complaining about it, what if it does turn out to be good? Well, they're going to be embarrassed.
No, I don't think it's embarrassing. I think we all want to be wrong. That's the thing. I don't think any of us would be embarrassed at all. I think no. Let me finish my point. I don't think we'd be embarrassed at all. I think we would be absolutely joyous that we would prove wrong. But it would be, let's face it, the first time that we would be wrong. So I'd be more than happy. But I'm not. I'm not going to be wrong. I really don't think so. But good on him if I'm proven wrong. I would love that. I would more than anything.
I hope he goes out on a high. Indiana Jones. Well, all I'll say about Indiana Jones is that like nothing's been filmed yet. So for the people that are complaining because Phoebe Waller-Bridge has been brought on board as a cast member, might I add, well, they can go to hell. We don't know.
Yeah, I think the bigger worry is if Kathy's got anything to do with that movie.
Yeah, if
more
Kathleen
than
Kennedy has anything to do with it, I will be keeping an eye because she doesn't. She seems to have the
she's the eye of Sauron.
She just
She certainly is.
and she touches. So
yeah,
we'll see. But if she's nothing to do with it, I don't give a shit what part Phoebe Waller-Bridge plays in it once she's not writing it. And if she's not writing it, then I'm not going to complain until I fucking see it. The only problem that I have with it is this. Harrison Ford is too old to play Indiana Jones now, and they shouldn't be dragging him back for a fifth fucking movie because they got the fourth one wrong. Okay? You fucked it up, leave it alone. Simple as that. He's too old, move on. Right? But they just want to do these because, we were going through this nostalgia phase for a while. Everybody will love another Indiana Jones. They love Harrison Ford. They love Indiana Jones. So let's make another one. Next will be Beverly Hills Cop because Eddie Murphy has been in talks about doing that. I won't be surprised if that's announced sooner rather than later. There's loads that are going to be remade and sequels to movies that haven't been out in years, and it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It'll go the way. You know what? All these movie franchises will go the way of the Fast and the Furious franchise. That movie is on its 9th movie now. That franchise.
Yeah.
Fucking ridiculous. Indiana Jones 27. Harrison Ford will be 102 and he'll still be fucking going around bleeding, trying to fucking save.
No, I think Harrison's only got one more Indiana Jones in him.
I don't
think he wants to do anything more than that.
I don't think he has it in him at all, to be quite honest.
I can just see him running in on a bamboo Zimmer frame. I'm too old for this.
Unless he's not as active in this movie as he has been in other movies, it'll work. But if he's going to be as active as he is in the other movies, well, then it's not going to work. Listen, the guy is 70 odd years of age. Will he leave? No.
Look, it's clear why they're doing this. Look. They're only doing it to bring him back for the one movie anyway, and then they were going to continue the saga on with someone else, probably a young woman. Possibly Phoebe Waller-Bridge is the new Indiana Jones. Don't put it past them. Do not make the mistake of putting that
Right,
past
well,
them.
hold on, though. Right, but I want to say something, right? Controversial here, but I'll put it this way. But if this is Harrison Ford's last movie, and you want to move the franchise on, right? What would be wrong with a Phoebe Waller-Bridge or someone else taking over? Or say
Because
Because
it will be
Indiana
shit.
Jones is a male character. I'm
What?
sorry, no, I'll fight you this
So,
one.
yeah.
Indiana Jones is a male character.
Some sexes have to be kept as the same sexes.
Right, I'm only to look playing devil's advocate here. I'm only asking, right? Who
Do you
would
want to
you
do an
like?
alien with a
Who
male
would you
Ripley?
like? Right, so if they were going to replace Harrison Ford, who would be the actor that you would choose to take over as the new Indiana Jones? Who's good enough to replace Harrison Ford?
I don't think there is anyone with that kind of charisma in Hollywood anymore. Maybe Henry Cavill or someone like
I'm
that.
trying to
But
just think of masculine actors. There's not many about.
just sort of Henry Cavill. That's really
Yeah.
all there is at the moment. Tom
Who's
Hardy's
Colin's favourite for
But then
replacing
here's
him?
the thing: if you can't do it, don't make the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got one for you. Out of the box a little bit crazy Doctor Who connection. Here's one for you. Matt Smith.
As Indiana Jones,
As
he'd have to
Indiana
beef
Jones.
up like fuck, wouldn't he?
He'd have to really be like Tom Hardy, wouldn't he?
Yeah, and I adore Matt and his doctor, but
Yeah.
I know, but these don't have to go for a muscly Indiana Jones either, though. Harrison Ford
Yes,
wasn't
you do.
He wasn't
You
really
do.
muscly, though.
He would actually make it. It would make a good mutt, actually.
He had the nice
He'd be a good
fucking
sidekick.
chest or
Yeah.
whatever, right? But he didn't have a fucking muscles on him. Jason
It's not about
Statham.
muscles. He
it's
has
not
to be
about
masculine.
muscles. No, it's about having a masculine sort of raw sex appeal.
Why?
I'll say as a
And what,
female.
you're saying that Matt Smith isn't masculine enough?
He isn't.
No,
He's
I
not to
didn't
play
like his
someone
doctor
like.
for that reasons. I liked his doctor because he was
I'm
Peter
loving
Pan.
this. I'm just winding you all up. I'm loving
Yeah.
Piece
this.
of shit, honestly.
It'd have to be a Mutt Jones anyway, because Indiana Jones' son, but just not played by Shia LaBeouf.
Actually, Shia LaBeouf a few years ago. Now, no matter what you think of him or Atten, but Shia LaBeouf was in the Crystal Skulls, right? He is a good actor. We know that, but he's back crazy.
Yeah.
Could he now, because he's kind of settled down a bit and he's been in good stuff since, could he take over from Harrison Ford? Do you think he could? Because he was looked at to continue play Indiana Jones' son and continue on that legacy. Do you think they could do that with
From
him
his
now?
from his appearance in Transformers, no.
No.
Yeah, but no thinking now, to be fair. And I'm trying to think of recent things because he was
Well, he was in a
diabolical
movie
in
with,
that
They needed
movie.
Chris
he was
Pratt
in a
or
movie
someone.
with Tom Hardy. He was a few years back.
No, we lost Jack, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
where they played bootleggers, and he's bleeding brilliant. In
Road to
that
Perdition. What was it? Road to Perdition.
It was called. Oh, what was that? It was a true story. It was based on real brothers, like in America, and they were bootleggers, and they became rich. And one of their brothers, like, was a lucky son of a bitch because, like, he should have been killed loads of times, and he survived. It's like Tom Hardy is in it, and is Tom Hardy, like, he plays it brilliant. But Shia LaBeouf is brilliant in this movie.
Actually, that's a point. Can Tom Hardy do an American accent? Maybe he could be
Yeah.
Indiana Jones.
He was in Venom with an American accent.
Yeah, we could. Yeah, Tom Hardy does Indiana Jones. I don't know. I just don't see it myself. I just don't.
No, it needs to be an all-American guy. I think,
it needs to be an American, really, doesn't it? If we say like a Brit has
I
to
mean,
be
I
the
say
doctor.
Henry Cavill because it's the only sort of masculine, heroic type of actor that automatically springs to mind. That's the problem. Hollywood has emasculated the hero so much. It's really hard to even think about actors that are suitable for. I mean, let's be honest. People like Harrison Ford don't come along very often.
No,
and it's very hard to replace someone like that, really.
Yeah, that's what
Really
I mean. All the old guard now, like the Bruce Willis's, the Sylvester Stallone's, the Arnolds, we're never going to see actors like that again. I mean, I do agree with you. So look at what they call masculine men now. It's like it's their idea is Robert Patterson. I mean,
yeah. or
Yeah,
Harry Styles in his
yeah,
dress or whatever.
his
it is.
handbag, and he's crossed between men and
No,
women.
Lawless.
I don't know what the Lawless is the movie. That is
2012,
it.
that's the
If you
one.
haven't seen that movie, I recommend it tonight. If you want to watch it,
9 years ago,
movie,
2012.
watch Lawless. He is brilliant. Shia LaBeouf is even brilliant in this movie, but it is Tom Hardy's movie. It really is, and it's got Guy Pearce in it who plays a bad cop in it, a nasty mother. Brilliant movie, man.
He wasn't a bad Mad Max, Tom Hardy, actually.
Yeah,
He was barely in his own film though.
He was barely in it, but he was good at bits he was in.
John
I
Cena
can't even
could do
remember
it.
him in it.
No, I
either.
don't see John Cena as fucking Indiana Jones. No way.
Oh, I just
Indiana
thought
Ben
somebody
Nemo,
actually,
like.
an American actor, who was in Star Wars, who was not Finn. What was the
Poe.
Poe's actor? Maybe. Do you think he could be Indy?
Oh yeah, he could play in Indiana Jones. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, look, you need a certain type of wit.
Here's the thing: should we really be remaking these? In all fairness,
No. Yeah, but I mean, like, I think with Indiana Jones, you've got a modern classic which could be like Sherlock Holmes or a Doctor Who type thing. It's something that can last and have a legacy.
Time,
yeah, like different iterations throughout time,
I
like
don't
Buck
know.
Rogers or Flash Gordon. I mean, before the ones that we saw, in the 80s, there were. In the 1940s, they had these characters on screen. So
There's a choice for you there by Alpha Omega. It's way out of the box. Keanu Reeves.
But he could do all the stunts very well.
Oscar Isaac, you were talking about.
Keanu Reeves gets a lot of stick, right, as an actor, right? They say that he does the same. I love Keanu Reeves. I think he is an actual great actor. Seriously, in his early days, movies, look at his movies. Yes, he has kind of done the same kind of movies over the last few years, but there's no denying that guy's talent. Could he be Indiana Jones, though? I'd have to say no. Because he's the roles that he plays. Look at the roles that he plays. He's more of a Indiana Jones wouldn't be his type of role.
I don't know, you shouldn't be. Shouldn't typecast him. I think he's...
No, but he wouldn't. I guarantee
he's got the comedy chops. He's got the action man chops.
Play Indiana Jones.
I think Chris Pratt could pull off Indiana Jones. Well, pull off Mutt Jones or someone.
Chris Pratt.
He'd be too quippy. Quippy.
There is a point. You want someone who's got a bit of comedy talent, but is also very good action.
No, John Wick is a good series. I'm not saying that, but that's the type of movie he loves doing, and he likes doing the sci-fi type of movie as well. Like he's doing the Matrix again, because that's his acting style, and that is very unique. That's what I meant to say. His acting style is very unique that he wouldn't be able to do Indiana Jones, just like Nicolas Cage. Could you imagine Nicolas Cage trying to play Indiana Jones the way he
I can actually. I know that sounds wrong. Weird, fucked up reason.
The funniest thing ever. That one now. Actually, Indiana. Oh my God! I've just come up with a fucking great idea. Indiana Jones. Someone should deep fake that shit. Nicolas Cage playing Indiana Jones.
No, he needs to be the villain. He needs to be like a crazy villain in Indiana Jones. That would work with Nicholas.
There, Douglas has made a good point there, and I actually agree. Characters that have stood the test of time for decades do not need to be reinvented; they need to be respected. And I agree. Look, there is I can understand why some people would like to see some of these characters continue on, but if the actor or the actress that's playing those particular roles and they end up becoming iconic because of it, I think they should be left alone. It's the same with the Alien franchise, right?
Yeah, you wouldn't recast Ripley as a male.
But they've tried to bring that back, right? It's never quite worked. And the reason why it's never... And he did bring Liz Shaw in. He did try bring in another female character that was strong. The reason why it didn't work was because Ripley is such an iconic character connected to that franchise. So if you're trying to not replace it, because the actress, you probably think that you don't want to bring the actress back, you want to could continue the story, but bring in and introduce new characters, fine. But when you do that, you're heading into trouble because it's such iconic. Same with Indiana Jones, that's iconic. You know, even recasting Darth Vader caused a little bit of controversy. If you remember, some of these roles just people don't want to be touched.
Well, I think we're thinking about it a bit too generational, a bit too selfish. I think if we step back and think bigger picture, more long term, I think these franchises do have longevity in them, and maybe not for us, our generation, but for generations of the future. Yes, they'll. It would be great if these characters were relaunched like 20, 30, 40 years from now. And then you can continue those on, and then people can always dip back and look at the originals and just go, wow, wasn't cinema amazing back then rather than now? And so we'll keep them in the public consciousness.
Sequel trilogy, and look what happened. It doesn't work, Lee.
No, but it does, because I'm the example of that with Doctor Who. Because I came on in 2005.
Yeah, with Doctor Who.
I didn't have a clue. And now I'm going back to the classics.
Yeah, same with Daniel.
Yeah, but everything fell in. But hold on, everything fell into place for Doctor Who. And the thing about it is that if you think about it in reality, there wasn't much of a way. I mean, fans were still getting their Doctor Who fix with Big Finish.
Yeah, they were good in the wilderness years.
You know, so I mean, there was a.
Yeah, but I'm talking. Yeah, but look, Flash Gordon wasn't introduced in the 1980s. It was introduced in the 1930s and 40s. Same with Buck Rogers.
Yeah, Buck Rogers.
We always, our generation always thinks of Buck Rogers as that camp 1970s.
1979, yeah.
And it wasn't. You know, Buck Rogers has been around again since the 1930s.
I know. They get I get where you're coming from. But in the current state that we're in now with Hollywood and all it is,
that's what I'm saying. Leave it for a generation or two. That's what I'm saying.
Happen, though. I mean, Hollywood's next year, this year, and next year, and the year after is going to be the next few years is going to be the years of the Hollywood remake or the Hollywood.
Well, every fucking year.
I mean, there's even talks of Whoopi Goldberg coming back for another Sister Act. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. We don't need another Sister Act, right? Sister Act 1 was great.
Oh, God, really?
Sister Act 2 was, it was okay. It wasn't as good as the first one. But now they want to, because I can only imagine what Sister Act 3 is going to be all about. They'll send her to a fucking orphanage or something where the Black Lives Matter thing is going on. And she comes out and she's singing "Oh Happy Day," you know, giving her all of this crap. I don't want it.
Somalian orphanage, yeah.
Right? Seriously, don't want them, man. Don't want
a missionary.
Leave it alone. If you want to do another one, if you want to remake the thing because you have a thing in remaking it, go for it.
For us.
Remake it. I'll be great. Remake it with I'll tell you though, remake it with Brie Larson. You know, get her to play
Ray Swap, yeah.
You know, just get Brie Larson to play the new
Is it funny? Not, you know, everyone goes. It's you know, casting a black person instead of a white person. You're just racist if you don't like it. Imagine if they turned the Black Panther into a white guy.
Yeah.
Would they still be saying the same thing? Or it doesn't
matter?
Of
course they wouldn't. They're hypocrites. How many times we have to tell everybody?
Yeah.
Right? We keep telling them they are hypocrites. We got a $10 or £10 super chat as well from Nicholas Horton.
Thanks,
I really appreciate the super chats tonight, folks. Thank you very much. How about
I'm not getting a penny of it, mind?
An Indiana Jones movie in vain to something similar of the 90s? Young Indiana Jones series had an older indie narrating the beginning, the ending of each episode. That was the one with River Phoenix, wasn't it? And then he... No, that wasn't the TV show.
No, that was the other one.
No, that was in the movie. River Phoenix.
Sorry, River
series. Yeah,
River Phoenix was in the
movie.
movie.
Didn't they cut that out of the remastered versions? Cut that really good bit out with the old indie out of the remastered ones.
They did not, did they?
Yeah, they Lord Lucas remastered it and cut it all out.
Jesus, man.
Yeah,
Well,
if you get it on DVD, it's probably still in there. It's probably an option to watch the original or the remastered version. So
Yeah, because I like that, man.
I know, yeah, I liked old indie. I was chatting to Cockney about it a while ago. Old indie.
Yeah, and also just on the future to do with Hollywood, you've got to think everything now is going to be so expensive to film.
Yeah, yeah.
Everything is going to be so much insurance.
It's going to be cheap and
so
bland,
much
isn't it?
Fuck them. They haven't been making that in years, decent in years anyway.
Oh, they get a bailout anyway, don't they?
It might force them
to
make something decent because it will be that expensive. They'll probably start tipping along the lines. Well, here we'll actually have to make something decent to make a bit of money back here because it's actually getting harder to film because
that's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm like praying. I'm like, come on, you're going to be paying more for everything now. Actors are probably going to be very picky about what roles. Well, not picky, but like they're going to have to. They want it, probably for their own safety. I would think they wouldn't want to go to like multiple locations and loads of far-flung places. So it could make basically the industry economize and have to actually create good stuff.
It will.
We'll go back to the 1980s again, won't it?
And you know what? It'll be the best thing for it. It'll be the best thing for it because this is what is needed. Hollywood and the TV industry in general around anywhere where it is big has needed a reinvention, has needed to be sorted out. And if this pandemic, by some weird reason, is a reason that Hollywood changes its behavior, changes the way they do things, and other organizations around the world, then I'm all for it. At the end of the day, I am sick and tired of the last 5 years of mediocre entertainment. What am I paying for? What the hell am I paying for?
Feel the same way.
I have a right as a consumer to expect that the entertainment that I get is of high quality. And I think these people have forgotten that. And you really need to get back to that way of thinking because I'm telling you now, you won't be able to put up with this for another year or two because financially it will ruin you. This is why all these takeovers are happening. Right, and why these takeovers all need to happen because companies are all struggling now, and they think by buying up that it's going to help. Amazon itself, then now they're at the buying this big acquisition. Now if they don't start making good quality stuff, that's going to hit them bad. And Amazon then in a few years' time could see itself in a situation where it's taken over. Then we get into a vicious cycle where all these companies will end up taking over each other to delay the inevitable, which will be the collapse of the industry completely. So it's time to change now because the consumer is telling you that they've had enough, right? I'm actually on this app, right? And I've looked at the movies that they've made in the last year, right? And I'm telling you, out of 300 movies that I looked down on, there was about 2 of them, and I'm not lying to you, folks. There was 2 of them that I said, yeah, I'd probably give them a go. They look interesting. The rest you could see from the cover of the bloody DVD cover, the Blu-ray cover, that this crap was woke, agenda-driven bollocks, right? Yeah. And I'm looking at the rating of all it is, right? 4s and 5s. And do you know what? The 2 movies and the 2 covers that I actually said, oh, they look interesting, I'll check them out. 8s along the board. You just know by looking at even at the covers of shit now if the thing is going to be good or bad because the agenda is on the fucking cover. I'm sick of it. I have a right as a consumer to
we want quality again.
Quality entertainment. I am sick of getting mediocre entertainment for the last 5 years. And BBC, you really want to book your ideas up now because I'm telling you now, Doctor Who is already fell off that cliff. I'm surprised it hasn't fell down and smashed into pieces yet. But by some miracle, it's floating there, waiting for someone.
Oh, you wait till after 13, it will be there.
It's a floater, not a flusher.
Of course it's a floater, yeah. And I won't flush it, won't. It won't flush.
Hit it with a bog brush. Hope it'll go away.
Fucking hell. Chris Chibnall is the bog brush. He's trying to put his water down. For fuck's sake, and it's still not going anywhere.
Yeah, Divvy Davy won't stick his head down.
I will say something though positive. that goes to show you the power the name of Doctor Who actually has.
Yeah.
Is that even though it's still going through this shit, it's still managed somehow to fucking keep itself up there. You know?
Yeah, but that's because of contracts. That's because of HBO. That's because of everything outside of the show keeping it afloat.
It's
not the
floating
actual
on
show
reputation
itself.
now. That's what it's doing. It's floating on its reputation. That doesn't last forever. That eventually
No,
runs out.
it won't. And as I said, it will have to change. But listen, Dr. Pooh, someone says. Well, it certainly is Dr. Pooh now, isn't it? I mean, look, I just think that the next couple. Look, we got some things to look forward to. For me personally, I'm looking forward to Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Oh yeah,
I'm also looking forward to Sonic the Hedgehog too. Don't care what anybody says. You can slag me off all you want. That first movie had heart. That first movie was actually great. I recently watched it again. It just puts a smile on my face. It's a feel good movie. If you haven't seen it, it has a lot of heart and it has a few sad moments in it as well, I have to say. But the end credits just make it worth it because you know the second movie is going to be fun. And I've already
Tails is in a second movie.
And I've even seen some footage that they've shown. Knuckles and Tails are there.
Knuckles and Tails,
Looks epic. I can't wait. But yeah, they're the two movies that I'm looking forward to. There was another movie, but it's kind of slipped me mind now at the moment. So
Top Gun Maverick, who I'm looking forward to.
Oh, Maverick, that's the one. Yeah, it's kind of went under the radar since the trailer. But that's a good thing because, you know, they haven't saturated the fucking YouTube with teasers and more trailers like that. You know, we got what we got. And now, you know, the closer it gets, then he'll probably release one more trailer. But that's the way it should be done. I'm sick of these movies that come out, right? They have about 15, 20 fucking trailers. So you put all the trailers together or edit them a certain way. Sure, there's the plot of the movie there, folks. Why bother watching the movie? There's the plot.
Yeah.
Comston for the Doctor. Yeah, Daniel seems to be pushing your man Comston from
I might have gotten to him.
And I have to be honest. I would agree he would make a good choice, but I actually think it'll go to his co-star if they go with anybody from Line of Duty. I think they'll go with Vicky McClure. I just have a funny inkling that's where they're gonna go with it. But two good choices, I think. Now I know some will argue that the Doctor, and I am one of them. But I always said, like, at this stage, bring anybody in that's better than Jodie Whittaker. But Chris Chibnall has to go as well, or it doesn't make a difference.
Yeah, got to get rid of the whole production team behind it.
Good shout by Daniel, I have to say. Good choices there. But look, we will soon find out now in the next. Remember, the Euros are coming up.
I was going to say, I'm actually not looking forward to. I might actually pay attention to a football game for once.
Yeah. Because apparently now, remember, it was reported on this channel. Apparently, there's a rumored announcement to be made during the finals of that concerning Doctor Who. So whether it happens or not, but it will be worth checking out. So that's the Euro final. So I'd watch the whole thing that day, just in case, because you don't know when they're going to show it, whether it'll be the end when the football match is over and there'll be a big reveal, or whether it'll be a half time like they did with Wimbledon. Do you remember? I think they did it at the end of Wimbledon.
Yeah, they did it after the match. But after the match. You're right. It could be half time. It could be at the end.
Yeah. So it'll be worth, and that'll be clever. Do you know why? And for people doubting that will happen, the reason why BBC will do that is because BBC will be showing the match first of all, the final, whoever it is, right? Second of all, there'll be over 25 million people watching that match, right? Whoever's in it, right? Even better if it's England, because if England's in the final, then BBC are on. Know for a fact that millions of people are going to be watching, and then they'll drop the reveal or drop whatever they're going to drop, right? Concerning Doctor Who, and then BBC will have all the publicity. It'll be in the eyes of the world. Remember, not only people in the UK will be watching BBC, people around the world will also be watching BBC. So it'll be huge if it happens. And
yeah, and they need the general audience back. They desperately need the general audience.
Yeah.
So pick a big event. But for me,
that's the logical.
Yeah, and also for me, it's logical that if something does drop on that final day, it's going to be a doctor reveal, not Whittaker officially saying she's going.
It could be, keep us hanging. Well, they've revealed another, but does that mean that Jodie is gone, or does that mean she's staying? Again, it's another thing as well where I think they should just come out straight now at this stage. Listen, is she leaving? Is she staying? What's the fucking story? What? Come on, like everybody's speculating. Why not end the speculation now? But the fact that they don't end the speculation, as we have said, just makes me believe that she is definitely gone. And whatever that announcement is, if there is in fact that announcement going to happen, because it is the logical place to do it, to be honest, with loads of people watching the TV. I just think, listen, if they didn't do it then, BBC are fucking idiots as usual. Why wouldn't you use one of the biggest sporting events in the world to promote your show or to make an announcement about the future of that show? It just wouldn't make, but look, idiots working at the BBC. Just look at what they've done with it. They don't know what they're doing.
So I've just changing the whole subject. I've just seen your post about these people complaining about why the quote unquote NNDs have gone unusually quiet. I can't believe the absolute arrogance of these people. We've said like for the last year and a half, 2 years, whatever it's been, just leave us the fuck alone, right? We've complained over and over that we were targeted for harassment and bullying constantly, right? And that was borne out by the number of their people that got constantly suspended off of Twitter, right? Not us, them. Now, when I see a post like this where it says, anyone noticed that since the Not My Doctor account went away, the NNDs have been unusually quiet? It's almost like that account was nothing but motivation for them to keep going and should never have been created. Look.
My response was simple, right? You see my response. You can actually read my response out if you want to. I don't give a shit. But I responded. It's as simple as this. See, what happened is that the hate group in particular was picking on people like myself and the people that you mentioned in that particular post. As you go down and my name gets mentioned. The thing about it is that, when that account was attacking us, of course we're going to defend ourselves. The account was slandering us. And then at the same time, then their supporters were coming and attacking us every day. Now that that account is gone, there's actually peace in the fandom because the little mob now don't have don't have their figurehead to actually go and do what they do. So if you're wondering why I've been quiet and others have been quiet out there, by the way, I will repeat again, you morons, that I'm not my doctor, you tick. But anyway, the reason why we haven't been saying anything or we've been quiet
because we haven't been
attacked. That we've got peace and quiet finally in the fandom. And unfortunately for you little turds, you have become afterthoughts. We don't really give a shit what you have to say anymore. The fact that you are complaining that we're quiet just goes to show that you strive and crave
you're looking for trouble.
Attention. So do you know what? You ain't getting any attention off us anymore. I said this plenty of times. Lee has said it as well. We're not going to respond to you anymore. You are done. You are spent entity in this fandom. You all supported the known abuser. He was exposed. The fact that you are still on Twitter, it baffles me, to be honest, because every single one of you should be banned for promoting and putting that guy on a pedestal. It's funny how you twist it, saying that this account put us on a pedestal. No, they put him. You all put him on a pedestal.
They did it, them that did it.
Him the ammunition to come after us, and then his hate mob then came after us, and then because we came out and defended ourselves, and rightly so, and I always believed that we made the right decision in defending ourselves, because when it became slanderous and stuff, I'm not going to stay quiet. I'm not going to stay quiet. Lee is not going to stay quiet. And when people get attacked that we know, we're not going to stay quiet. But now that that hate mob is gone, there is peace in the fandom. Yet there's still a few people out there that have tried to store up. But myself, Lee, and others out there have decided it'll become an afterthought. We do not care what you say anymore. He has actually lost all legitimacy when that guy was proven to be who he was. When we were telling you for the last year that he was a harasser and an abuser, we even showed you screenshots of the multiple accounts that he had taken down, and you wouldn't believe us. You supported him. So as far as we're concerned, I'm sorry that you crave attention. Go and talk to your mammies and daddies and tell them that you crave attention.
Seriously, go get some counselling.
These adults here, I'm not going to give you any more attention, kids. So go and annoy someone else now. There you go.
Yeah, plus we also did the more healthy option, which is talk about things we actually enjoy.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like me and Daniel Line of Duty. That's why we're doing those streams right now. Because we've both got fed up of all the nonsense.
Exactly.
But do you think the kids are doing this, all banging together and doing this, because I think it's an SJW and on the council culture is a trend?
I don't know. They're just look at even the tweets are
sorry,
desperate.
A question someone posed to me the other day.
The tweets are desperate. The tweets that Lee are talking about, I posted. Right, I covered their names to save them from any embarrassment. But you could see they're desperate. They're craving attention. And Lee, it's one of the accounts that you know anyway. I'll just put that out to you there.
Well, you can DM me that.
Talking about.
I can high roll later.
So, like, I mean, it's the same usual gobshites. They're just looking for anything to fucking get attention off it. And I'm done.
Attention seeking, I think you're right.
I'm done with the I'm not going to give them it anymore. I mean, they've been coming on to me gaming streams as well, and I've just been ignoring them. And that's exactly the way it'll continue because, as I said, they've lost all legitimacy to me. They've lost all.
Never had any.
Well, they never had any.
It was all delusion.
But the fact that they supported this bully for over a year, it disgusts me. So I have no time for disgusting people in this fandom. I'm done with disgusting people in this fandom. So they could do whatever they want. I just, I'm done. I'm done. Lee is done. We're moving on. We're doing stuff that we like. By the way, this weekend we do have Classic and New Who. So come and join us for that. And we have the movie streams back on the Tardis Zone. The vote is actually getting closer now. So the two movies that everybody is voting for now is The Goonies and Short Circuit. And it's 60-40 around that mark in favor of The Goonies. So if you haven't voted, you have until Tuesday. Go on to Twitter. It's there. If you're on Twitter, go and vote on that Twitter poll. I've retweeted it now, so it's on at the very top of my account. I will pin it back up as soon as this stream is over because I have this pinned up at the moment. But check it out and vote because it's getting pretty close now. I'm pretty sure Goonies is gonna win. I don't mind. I love both movies, but I think Goonies will win and be a good movie to do anyway. But if you haven't voted, please do. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give the guys a chance to give their shout outs and stuff. And Daniel just says, I have more fun with Line of Duty than I've had in 3 years with Doctor Who. Well, listen, as I said, mate, I've been talking to you on the football streams about this. It's good to see you branch out and do something that puts a smile on your face. I mean, Classic Who still puts a smile on my face. That's why I still do it. I have to say the Matt Smith era does put a smile on my face. But I'm bringing back the movie streams, especially to here because I do like doing the movie streams and I miss doing them. And the movies that are coming up, trust me, they're going to be some great movies, and it'll just bring us. I just want to do stuff that puts a smile on my face. We've had. Let's be honest, the fandom and the franchises that we love. It's just all doom and gloom. I'd rather listen. They say don't look back to the past and stuff, but that's what I've been doing when it's come to music, TV shows, and movies. I've looked back to the past, and I can tell you something. Right, the past wasn't perfect. Right, even growing up, in the 80s when I was growing up. It wasn't perfect, but I tell you, life was so much better. People were so much kinder, and entertainment on TV. Even as I said, even though life was so much kinder, we did have the threat of fucking nuclear war over our heads. But when we went and watched their TV shows, for those couple of hours, the families would sit around the TV, whether it was Noel's House Party or whatever was on. We'd sit around, and for those 2 hours, we'd escape from the world's troubles. It was just a much better time, and that's what I've been reminiscing a lot. It's like as if, it's like as if I was old, right, about 90 or something, and I'm dying, and I'm just looking back at my life. Well, that's what I'm doing. I'm looking back at my childhood. I'm looking back at my teenage years, and I'm exploring shows and movies and music that I used to watch and listen to around those times when I was growing up. And I'm telling you, I'm having so much fun. A few weeks back, I watched the Mighty Ducks franchise, and then I found out Disney Plus had done a show, and I have to say the show is actually brilliant. It follows on. It feels the same as the movies. I loved it. So I've been going back watching me past, and all these shows that put a smile on my face. I'm actually trying to get my hands on Gladiators. Do you remember that show?
Yeah, the good old series.
Gladiators, and watch it from the beginning again, because I fucking love that idea.
That was Saturday night for me, mate.
So I know, same here. Love the band, the music, and all brilliant.
Happy Families on one side, and Gladiators on the other.
Yeah.
Oh, the good old days. I miss them.
See, that's what I mean. We don't have that. TV is just sterile now.
Saturday night died, didn't it? Died definitely. Everyone was going out clubbing in the 2000s.
Saturday and Sunday night officially died. Right, listen, I'm going to stop reminiscing and crying about me past, because, that's just the way it is right now.
I know.
But listen, join me the weekend anyway.
And
we're going to have some fun. And then on Wednesday, we're going to have the movie stream. What are we doing? Actually, what was the movie? Because the Goonies is now, our Short Circuit is next week. What are we doing this week again?
Don't know. You did a night to remember this week, didn't you?
Yeah. We were doing something completely different now. I think I'll have to ask Super John again what it was. I'll ask Super John when we do the watch along tomorrow. I'll ask him, and we'll let you know what the movie is. And he's come and join us for that. It'll be fun. Right, I'm going to shut up now officially now and give they're talking about Glad. Jet was a fine looking gladiator, I have to say. She's still a fine looking gladiator, I think. I think she's still alive, yeah. Jet's still alive, yeah. I think so.
Yeah, Diane Udell's still alive.
Last time
I saw her. It's been a few years though, but I heard she's still alive.
Yeah, they were I was only recently watching a show where they were talking about gladiators, and she was being interviewed about it.
Yeah.
It was like this whole thing. I think it was on that Discovery. Oh no, what fucking app does she have? I don't know. It's on one of those new fancy apps anyway. And they had a show where through the decades, and gladiators was featured, and she was being interviewed, and it was brilliant. It was. So now I'm going to shut up. So we'll start with Charlotte first. So Charlotte, go ahead. Let everybody know what's up and coming on yourself and Daniel's channel.
Yeah, so we're going back right on Tuesday. Then we've got our next Line of Duty episode, which is episode 3. And so my memory's not good. And then we're having our little mini break because we wanted to do at least 3 episodes, and then we'll finish the series off and then have another little break and then straight on to series 2.
Fantastic. As I said to everybody, now Daniel's asked me, have I watched, and I've told him out straight, I haven't, because I haven't watched Line of Duty yet. The plan is now, after this weekend, is for me and Cheryl to sit down and finally watch some on Monday and Tuesday. So when I do watch them, I will then go back and watch your videos, and then I'll be caught up then, and then I'll be able to watch your stream live then when we do it. But yeah, it's definitely a show that we have to watch, because, as I said, I see it on Gogglebox nearly every fucking week, and I'm like, I have to watch them, and I keep saying it and keep putting it off. So is that it? So you'll be on a little break, and then obviously you will be back continuing his line of duty. Is that right?
Yeah. So that's the immediate plans right now, just because we're both enjoying it, and it's like I said, we want
Fantastic.
something fun and positive, so that's why we're doing it.
Brilliant. Do you want to? Are you and Daniel appearing on anybody's channel or anything? Did you want to give
On
that? a shout out?
Thursday coming up, because Courtney gave us a bit more time, we're going to be talking about The Expanse season 1, and I'll do a cheeky plug. I'm on this Sunday coming up the Script Doctors for the first time, so I'll be doing a bit of a script read.
Oh,
Fantastic. Do it now. The Tardis on official YouTube channel, says Daniel. Brilliant. You'll be sucking diesel, says Lee.
That's a line of duty quote, Lee.
Oh.
I mean, no, sorry.
Right, okay. I wasn't sure. Okay, I don't know what the hell was going on there. Lee.
Yep. You can find me on the Twitter at Being Problem. I broke my my streaming thing for today. Mainly because I managed to actually finally do something I was supposed to get done out of the way for space. So I did. I was asked by Purple Valkyrie to come on and talk about the Sandman thing. So I did that this afternoon. So go check out Purple Valkyrie's channel. I have sort of taken a sabbatical for the main part from streaming, so I've broken the cardinal rule twice today. But I will be returning at some point to.
You never left. Listen. Let's cut.
I took a break.
Let's cut the bullshit here. Right?
No.
you took a back seat. You took a back seat.
He didn't take a back seat. He never left, man. The day that he made the announcement, that night he was on my fucking channel. You never.
I was on yours and I was on Cockney's as well to do a take care for now. I never said it was permanent. No, I just said I needed a break. And I have taken a break because I've only done the odd stream here and there when I've got time to do it, because I have stuff I need to be doing. I've got Rabbi stuff I need to work on. I've got Cotton Spock stuff to work on, and I can't keep appearing on everyone's streams day in day out. I can't do it. I just Look, you shut up, you. I come on to do Classic Hoop because I'm committed, and I have been for.
Listen for a minute,
a long
right?
time.
I am not criticising.
You shut your mouth.
If you
I
think
was
that.
Be bloody grateful.
The thing
Be bloody grateful.
Is that you say you take a break, but deep down you know you can't, because
I can and I have. It's just how can you turn down Purple Valkyrie? You can't. You can't say no to Purple. So go and check that out.
That's like saying no to Az, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
So I was on there with her and Clobby in Times, my good friend Clobby, Avon Lizman. That was fun. I will be, if Cockney will have me back, I will be back with him at some point, hopefully in the next couple of weeks.
Don't bring him back, Cockney. Don't have him on. I wouldn't. He said he wasn't coming on.
He is a breath of fresh air. He is one of the funniest people I've ever met. He is hilarious. He can talk for Britain. Fucking hell. His channel is great fun. Do check it out. It is just, he can just stand there on his own and talk, and it's always infinitely interesting, always infinitely brilliant. So go and check him out, Captain Cockney.
Yeah, we all know who's Lee's favorite fucking streamer is now, don't we, folks?
Myself.
And I thought I was his favorite.
Oh, get over your fucking self.
Now it's the end of the therapy session.
Yeah.
And obviously check out Daniel and Charlotte's as well.
I agree.
A fantastic duo.
Check out Clobby as well, actually.
And Clobby. Check out my mate Clobby.
Clobby's link in there. You go.
Clobby, check out Clobby and Cockney as well. And I'm pretty sure PD is going to give Cockney an old plug as well. But who else?
I'm just going to say what he said.
Right.
And buy my single.
I'll put your links in.
Yeah, if you haven't bought
it's
these
still
singles,
working.
where have you been living? The money some money goes to charity, the other bit goes to Lee's back pocket because he
Goes to Lee's coffee.
Goes for his coffee,
which I've run out.
keeping
Well, I haven't
going with
run
all
out.
with all
I'll
the
take another
stream
cup.
appearances that he's not appearing on now because he's getting work done, no, seriously, on a serious note, it's for a good cause. No joking here. It's obviously for suicide prevention, and in the current state of society and the world right now, these suicide prevention services need as much uh, uh, support as possible, because there's a lot of people, especially the last couple of years, especially with what's been going on with the pandemic and stuff. It's caused a lot of people have suffered, and it's going to take a lot of people a while, to kind of get back to normal, or to recover from this. Remember that it's not going to be easy. So
this country is not going to be fixed overnight, North Ireland.
Yeah, so go and buy that single and support a good cause. And I think that's it. That's us now for the night. We'll be back tomorrow, as I said, for Classic Who, and then on Sunday for some new Who, and Wednesday then again for the movie stream. And then I'll find out off Super John what the bloody movie was that we actually picked, because I'm an airhead. I can't remember, which is embarrassing, really. I think me old age is starting to kick in a little bit.
Starting.
Yeah, starting. You be quiet, you cheeky sod. You cheeky sod.
That's it.
Cheeky. And I'm sure if you look somewhere on YouTube, Lee will be there. His face is everywhere. Everywhere.
Yeah, he was doing the rounds at Christmas.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Every channel went to, Lee, you were on. You're driving me nuts.
Oh, for fuck's sake, man. I remember that, man.
Oh,
there was
yeah.
one channel that you didn't go on, that he was on the fuck. That we
Then I
didn't
go
know
on
that
Cockneys
he
and you're on
was
Cockneys.
I was like, what the fuck?
Hey, go where the demand is. What can I tell you?
You were burning the candle at both ends at Christmas, dude.
Yeah, man.
Wonder why I want to take a back seat for a while. It's like,
Yeah, but
I was
hang
gonna
on,
say,
the
that's
thing
why you
about
got a
it
break.
is, yeah,
He takes a break in summer and burns the candle.
fucking hell, man. I'm surprised he didn't burn out over the Christmas. He did. Jesus. What belongs? So we have the clause of Axos, and then on Sunday we have Vampires in Venice. So
Oh yes, that's a good one, because we did a double bill of Doctor Who, didn't we,
double
last
bill,
Sunday?
remember? Yeah, we
I
did.
really don't like that episode.
Well, as you said,
there's a big mistake in it.
Well,
they don't have basements
it was
in Venice.
made.
They don't have basements in Venice.
Yeah, well, in fairness, right, you're on the classic panel, so you don't have to worry about New Who. So
That's very true.
Go and take your attitude somewhere else.
To the classic panel.
Because there's people here that actually love New Who.
Yeah,
Right.
it's
It will be me
Yeah.
and PB Rich. It will be myself and PB Rich.
Fine, it's just that episode sucks.
But I like Vampires in Venice. You be quiet, you. Sexy
got a good
vampire
actress
women.
in it who's passed.
There's nothing wrong with that, you, right? Sexy vampire women.
Whatever.
Yep. Actually, it will have a sad element to it, because of course, the actress, what's her name? I keep forgetting her name.
Second name, I can't remember.
She was in Peaky Blinders recently. She's in Vampires of Venice. She plays the mother of the prince in the college.
Can we wrap this up? I'm thirsty.
Yeah, she passed away. Lee has been an insensitive twat. Don't mind him there.
So insensitive.
Helen
McCrory.
That's the one. Yeah, she passed away. So she actually features in this episode. So it's a bit of it's going to be kind of
Damon Lewis's former
wife.
Yeah.
Right, please smack that like button and show some hard love, says Chris. Do it, because if you don't, you will regret it. Trust me, because when I die, I'll bleed and come back, and I'll fucking fucking hunches all the fucking
No,
baby.
you'll haunt Lee for the rest of his life, so he can carry on being
Oh,
around.
well, I'm already gonna haunt him already, for fuck's sake, trying to upstage me.
Be the haunted thespian Lee.
Trying to fucking upstage the host of the Tardis on. How dare he?
Every time Lee will go back into theatre, right?
Mhm.
And every time he goes to perform a line, Noel will appear and just upstage him.
Well, no, what'll happen is Lee will haunt Noel, and for the rest of the time he'll hear, "Watch Blake 7."
Yeah, I know. I'll be up there and he'd be chasing me all around, man. Have you watched the end of Blake 7 yet?
Yeah.
Just watch the damn thing.
Oh, like, Jesus, I'm in heaven. Will you leave me alone, man? Here,
Just
I'm going
ruining
out
the
to fucking hell
performances.
to get away from you. I'm going out to hell to get away from you. But no, seriously, all joking aside, Lee is one of the nicest people in this fandom, and it's nice to see that he features so much everywhere, because it goes to show he knows what he's talking about anyway. That's why people bring him on. He's a clever man. He sees these things before most of us anyway. You know, I dare to say he's probably the most intelligent person we have on this panel, but shh, say none. But no, he knows his stuff. He's been around a long time. He has seen a lot of stuff. No, I've seen a lot of stuff, but not as much as Lee. Lee is obviously he is older. He has that little bit more experience, and you know, when he does talk, you know, people should pay attention, because you know he's telling you how it is, and he's spot on. He's spot on. So yeah, long may it continue. But this Christmas, man, could you just stay off everybody's channel so we can just have
No. I'm going to be I'm going to be omnipresent just out of spite.
I'm the Force Noel. It's about me. Christmas is about me. Okay. Look up me name. Translation. Christmas.
Noel.
Oh, the people people used to do that to me as a kid. That drove me fucking crazy, man.
I'll bear that in mind.
Oh,
Noel and Christmas, mate. Noel and Christmas.
Are you saying he's the face?
Alpha, have you seen Alpha's comment?
Are you saying he's the face of Bob?
Yes, it's true.
I know this much is true.
And Leyland Gaunt says, Avon, the master that should have been.
Maybe. Actually, good choice for a master.
I was listening, you know, a rabbi suggested this audio drama, Big Finish, called Luther Arkwright, The Adventure of Luther Arkwright. And it's got David Tennant playing Luther Arkwright, who's this sort of traveler who travels between different planet, different iterations of Earth in a multiverse. Right. And it's got Paul Darrow plays Avon in Blake 7. He plays this character of Cromwell in the English Civil War, but it's like a one where they got motorcycles and machine guns and stuff. And it's mental. Right. It's really trippy, but I mean, he is so good in that. It's well worth listening to. It's absolutely mental.
Right.
Check it out.
Right. Well, that's it. We're done. Lee gets the last. Well, I'm getting the last word now, but officially Lee got the last word on the panel. So thank you everybody for joining in with us. I want to thank all my panelists. You've been absolutely fantastic, including Jack.
And you've been very adequate, Noel. Thank you.
Thank you. I've been all right. You know, I do my best, mate. I do my best. You know, I don't claim to be, you know, an expert or a professional.
I really see what you're trying to do.
You know, I try my best. I try my best. You know, and you know, if I don't reach the standards of some people out there, who gives a fuck about their opinions? At the end of the day, I have all of you guys. Don't be calling me Merry Christmas. Get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. Douglas, get out. Get out. You're done. You're done. He's gone. Bar him. You called me Merry Christmas. Bar him. Get him out. Get him out. I want them out. Right. Money messing. Seriously though, man, the Christmas jokes are fucking every year. It never gets old, I have to be honest. No, I don't get them as much now, but I'm sure fucking Lee will do it.
Never gets Noelled.
Oh, shut up, man. But no, seriously, I want to thank all my guests, everybody in the chat that commented, and obviously those super chats as well. And Daniel says Justice for no, my favorite FIFA player. Yeah, well, I have to say now, I have to be honest. We seem to be getting a little bit of traction on the Irish Geek when it comes to the gaming side of things. We seem to be getting more views now on certain YouTube channels out there that are big for sharing clips have actually started following me. So exciting times ahead for that channel, actually, have to say. And as I said, I don't know when Cheryl's returning, to be quite honest with you. So whenever she feels up to it, then we'll do all the. I don't know, man. I don't even ask anymore, because you know with what happened with Ted and all just knocked us for six and stuff like that. And she hasn't been the same since. I have to be honest. I mean, neither have I, actually. It was just seriously that first night, man. But he's here now and he's happy, and he's probably seen the videos of him now. He's at the making huge progress. Ted is a huge part of this channel. For anybody that doesn't know, he was when I had the camera working. I always used to pop him on with me and let you all see him. And you know, I have to be honest, it wouldn't have been the same, and the house wouldn't have been the same without him here. I have to say, we wouldn't be the same people without him. But he's grand. He's giving us bleeding nightmares now because he keeps trying to jump off stuff now because his legs are a little bit stronger. But if you haven't checked Ted's latest videos out, PD Rich has actually put the link in the link description. And I will see you all the weekend. And again, I want to say thank you for all the support. And as I said, we're back now to normal. So we'll be doing regular streams. And if anything pops up, I'm sure myself, Lee, and others will come on, and we'll tackle those hard subjects that people don't really criticize us for tackling. At the end of the day, that's what we're here for. If we see any bullshit, we call it out, and we'll continue to do that as well, by the way. So we'll still have plenty of panels and stuff like that. So plenty of stuff to happen. And lads and ladies, anybody else want to add anything before we leave tonight? I'll let you all, if one of you want to have the last word, would you like to add something?
Precipitation. There you go. Last word.
Okay, fair enough.
A bit of culture to end the stream with, PD.
Yeah, there you go. Culture.
Yeah. Lee, go on.
No.
He's doing this out of spite. I knew as soon as you said it, I was like,
of course, I'll say that because I've said it. Of course, okay. Well, then, fair enough. If that's the way you want to play it, drama queen, you can have it that way. Okay. Well, here you go. I'm going to leave you with Lee's shitty trailer. I'm going to mess it up. I'm only joking. Listen, these are you know what? You already know how I feel about all of this. But here, listen, this is because I just feel like playing them now. Because I have been giving Lee a bit of stick tonight. But listen,
unfairly.
Here is his classic trailer, and we will have Classic Who tomorrow. There's nothing crappy about that anyway, I can tell you that. It's not a deadly trailer, man. I couldn't believe when he made that for me. And the New Who trailer as well. I asked him if he could do a certain thing with the New Who trailer, and he did. It was brilliant. So here's the New Who trailer. I'm just playing this because I haven't played them in a long time, and I feel like playing them. And I want to show everybody and showcase Lee's work. If you haven't checked it, because he didn't actually promote it, which I noticed tonight. he didn't even plug his own channel because he keeps forgetting to plug his own channel.
Oh, I plugged it anyway, so it's fine.
Right, yeah, it doesn't matter. He should be plugging it. He doesn't plug it. He's too modest. Actually, one thing we never picked up on, which we will have to for next week's show, actually, is this whole copyright nonsense with the BBC. There's a lot to get into, and could trailers like the one that Lee have actually made for me now be in danger from all of this nonsense? That'll be worth talking about. Okay, we're going to go now. I'm going to leave you with the main channel trailer, and we'll say goodnight. So I'll say goodnight. Say goodnight, guys.
Good night, everybody.
Lee again. Okay, Lee just has to be different to everybody else. Okay. Right. As you can see, me and Lee do have great banter on this channel. If you don't see Lee over the next couple of weeks, well, then you know that something has gone horribly wrong. I'm only messing. He'll be here on Saturday. Tomorrow, won't you, Lee, for Classic? You are here tomorrow for Classic, aren't you? I forgot to ask, actually.
What's that? Yeah, should be there for Classic.
Oh, you should be. Okay, he will be, actually, because if he doesn't turn up, he's in trouble. I'm only messing. Lee should be here tomorrow. I know you all love his input into the Classic story. Same with Charlotte. Just be very interesting. Right, we're off. Good night, folks. I'll see you later. Here's the channel.